Let me say good morning. Good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9 on the FM dial. Those of you who are viewing GBN TV, Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20. It's to the point. It's Friday, the 5th day of July, 2024. It's an open line edition this morning here on To the Point, which means you listeners and viewers, you have the option of calling. Let's hear from you. Your views, your concerns, as always, is certainly appreciated when you're calling on the program. I beg of you on today's program, of course, limit your time in terms of whatever, of course, information you need to share, or in terms of your opinion, your views, issues that you will want to speak about. Of course, let's hear from you. 435-2041. Double options of getting in contact with me as usual. You can call me direct, 435-2041. Also via the WhatsApp, 435-2041. Those are the numbers. You can also share your views via the WhatsApp messaging. You can do that. Also, you can also send via the Facebook, of course, comment section. You can write a comment there also. Let me say good morning to those of you in the Sister Isles. If you were able to hear the sound of my voice, or you were able to view, I'm joking about the view part of it. That may not be possible as yet, except for those of you who probably have the internet service available. There's one of the networks that have gotten their system back up and running there, because I've been hearing folks from the Sister Isle calling in and stuff on various other networks. So I'm assuming things are not getting back to a level of normalcy. Not as yet. It's not as normalcy as yet. But there is some form of communication taking place. Let's entertain our very first caller this morning and say good morning, caller. You're welcome. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Fairly all right. And you?
Doing pretty well, sir. Doing pretty well. Good morning to you.
I always feel that you're pretty well because you conduct your session in the best interest of the people and yourself. Now, I want to commend the Prime Minister for his great effort in helping to stabilize the people of the country during the ordeal. Now, in my little history, from when I was born to right now, I have never experienced a Prime Minister talking to the people so nicely in the serious ordeal. Now, that's a good sign of a Prime Minister. Nevertheless, I would like to tell you that this might likely, except your program, I would be calling again, because you see, a lot of us trying to climb on people's back by damaging their ego. And especially when you're saying things, when they're saying things that are not right. For example, someone said recently, the thoughts for today, or today's thoughts for today, is so. Now, when you say today, what you mean? And you mean at present, the day we're in? So when you comment on those things, in other words, your means of your program is to educate people, get their thoughts, and not only you. The people's thought is to educate, to make them much more learned, to make them able to think critically, not to think critically and judge people because you hate him or you hate what he said. And bear in mind, the program, to some extent, is your opinion. Your opinion could be based on facts, allegation, or any other stupid thing. And this is why some people don't like certain people, because certain people are talking facts and they cannot agree to what people are saying. But some people want to agree with you, so they want to shatter your ego. That's your self-image then. Because I'll ask somebody, what do you mean by ego, their self-image? And they're trying to build their image on you by belittling you. When I say you, I don't mean you personally. Anyhow, that might be my last time I'm calling, because it doesn't make sense trying to educate people. that what everybody would say, I know. Put them to the knowledge or to develop their skill or the competency. They don't have the ability. Thank you very much.
Thank you also, sir. Best wishes goes out to you. All the best. 435-2041. 435-2041. Not sure where the caller was coming from, and if he decides not to call again, well, best wishes goes out to you, sir. 435-2041. Let's hear from you this morning. It's to the point here on Classic Radio, GBN TV. Let's say good morning to those of you via social media platforms, Facebook page, YouTube channels, those of you out there in the diaspora who are still, coming to grasp, of course, with what happened here in our sister isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. I know I can certainly hear the concerns from you. Of course, when you do calling, I look at you, of course, those of you who throw out a lot of information via social media, and your concerns are so valid at times that I certainly do appreciate you also that have that level of concern for what's going on. Let's entertain another caller via WhatsApp. How are you this morning? Good morning.
Hey, GT. Ready?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Not too bad. Don't worry, this caller. He calls radio station every minute. He'll call back. Alright, anyway, GT.
I'm certainly not worried. Don't worry about it.
GT, I happened to listen to an interview with the opposition leader calling to something to the point or whatever. And then, I expect better from an opposition leader. You understand? Because I listen to Radio St. Vincent and Antigua, different countries, and we see the opposition chipping in, calling the administration of the day and trying to work with them. And up to now, we don't hear nothing from this opposition leader more than I heard him say in the interview that nobody called him. This is a crisis. People don't have to call people. You show up. Look at Pastor Simon, right? Every morning you hear him on the radio. Nobody call him, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. You understand? And then another thing, I heard he talk about the opposition leader that some people went to some of the Chinese building and things like that. The homes were they built like in Dumfries and Carriacou, and they was torn back by the people. But also, do the Prime Minister know that shelters was announced for people to go to? And weeks before we have the hurricane, shelters was things. So if people choose to go there, they know they're not supposed to be there. Then our next lady called and said that some of them was paid by people already. So like there was owners that own. You understand? And then we have Nolan Cox came in. Nolan Cox called after, and then none of the question concerning people was turned back was asked to him. So I don't know what is this people motive. And now the opposition leader telling people that if they got something to send it to Nolan Cox. We got not married. Everybody going through the protocol. Why he want to do what he want to do and don't follow the protocol? I remember when Tillman, when Grenada went through the crisis and Tillman reached out to him, he said 2 male crabs can live in one home. You understand? But it's not about politics. It's about helping Grenada now. Look at Carriacou. You have people sleeping, no roof, nothing to eat, nothing. Pastor Simon, right now for 3 days, thinking about 900 meals to feed people. You understand? I would like to see the opposition jump on board and stop trying to score cheap politics. You understand? This is not a time fight. Behave like a grown man. Pull up your pants, Mr. Opposition. Thank you, GT.
Thank you, sir, and appreciate your contribution as always. 435-2041. We're looking at 10 minutes going on after the 9 o'clock hour this morning. It's to the point, and it's our Friday edition, the final edition for the week here on Classic Radio and GBN TV. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning, and you're welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you.
I have stove and a few gas tanks. A conversation went this morning by John, which makes valid point. You want to cook some food? Good, great. But you have to kick and Jenny. We pray that the boats get with the food. One of those boats ought to have stoves and gas tanks, coals to get to the people, Petit Martinique and Carriacou. I have a lot of gas tanks. I have a stove. You can call me back and get my number and get it to someone else that Pastor says that it doesn't make sense. But to me, it makes a lot of sense to get stove and fridge because we don't know if we pray, we hope that the food get there. Yeah, great, fast. But then again, the next move is to get the people to cook for themselves, get the food there. Anyway, that's what I have to say. Have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Have a good one. 435-2041. Open line edition this morning here on To The Point. Let's hear from you. Let's hear, of course, your views, your concerns, your issues, your opinions. You have the option of sharing that this morning here. Of course, you want to send some love to the folks of the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. You could certainly have the option of doing that this morning if you feel it in your spirit that you want to do that. Good morning, caller. How are you? Good morning. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yes, good morning, son. How are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks.
Okay, let's hear from you.
Yes. Okay, the caller that called before, he talks about all the opposition. He was not listening to everything, all the details. He was not following up. My thing is that with NADMA, my family members plan to send something for me to share between us, the family. And if it have to go through NADMA, we would not get it. So if we have to pay, like how they say we have to pay.
But if I could actually call her, how sure are you that you will not get it?
Well, they say you have to come to NADMA and they will decide.
I understand all of that is said, but if it's properly, I'm assuming if it goes through NAGMA and it's properly addressed and so forth, it will get to the proper individuals who have to receive.
They didn't give you that information as it surely you come to NADMA and the family will get it.
I understand maybe it was not detailed enough. I understand what you're saying, but of course you can't put the negative perception about it ahead of everything else. You understand?
Clarification on that, they should come and clarify that. Please, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, hopefully we can hear a bit of more clarification, and that will probably ease the minds of individuals who are feeling that particular way.
That's right. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day.
You have a good one also. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line edition of To The Point this morning here on Classic Radio, GBN TV. Drivers on the nation roads, as usual, as I will always say. Driver due care and attention. And looking for the pedestrians who are using the roads also. 13 minutes after the hour this morning, open line edition here on To The Point. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Caller, you know we don't entertain calls when you do have whatever device you have in the background turned up to that level that causes that feedback. I want to maintain the hearing till I get to that particular age. All right, so please turn off whatever device you have in the background before you call. Let's go to the phone lines once again. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling on behalf of the last caller. The same information she needs NADMA to give her, she can call NADMA and ask the advice instead of we sit down there and just criticize it.
I would agree with you, sir. I would agree with you. Thank you so much. 435-2041, 435. Sometimes not everything is dealt to come on the radio and speak about, so you could, of course, take just other routes. If you're not getting the answers you want on the other routes that you take, then you decide on of course, maybe take this particular avenue of seeking the information. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. We lost that caller there. 435-2041, 14 after the hour this morning. Classic Radio, GBN TV. To The Point, the open line edition this morning. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and how are you today, GC?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah,
it's
right.
probably the Friday, that kind of Friday feeling.
Right. Well, I'm keeping the feeling with the people of Carriacou. Right. What I want to say is, like, I look at something on the telly last night, which I see shouldn't be happening. There was a guy with an excavator, with a ripper, and he's trying to clear stuff, but he's going through, and what he's doing, he's some big piece, lots of sheets of roof that river, and it's a big piece. He just busting the ripper straight to it and clean. He should not be doing that, and he don't have a man on ground. He should have a man on ground to guide him on what to touch. You don't know what is underneath there, and you go in and just shift. You ever seen a rescue operation? Somebody will call you and tell you if you could move that. You don't know. People are still homeless. You could have somebody sleeping under this roof. You just go and just do that there. The people, you're not supposed to do that. Then Green Lake, they should issue something about the lines, because we had all this experiences and ask people try and not to cut the wires, because the wires are important. The wires, you cut the wires and you put in the system about 3 days behind, because the time they have to join wire, that wire you cut somewhere in Hillsborough, that wire could be leading you right down to the airport. And this is one of the places we'll have to get going. There's a lot of things people do that they should not do, because some of the same galvanized, we had the experience. We all turn carpenters. We need nails and hammer to put back a little piece of roof, a little some galvanized wood, just to share in case of weather again. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. I always appreciate your, of course, your advice you give, and the 2 cents that you're throwing in terms of the advice you give. Let's go to the WhatsApp. WhatsApp, good morning. Welcome.
Morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
Always a joy having you on the video. I've said consistently. I feel similar to Mr. Noel, when I think it was your first caller, who said he wouldn't call again, because, there are those of us who over time have sacrificed to contribute. Not because we want to make ourselves feel important, but this is our passion. This is what emerged from within. And then there are people who either because they're empty or they're mindless, they come and back at you. Nonetheless, I hope sometimes I feel not to call at all, because how will the folks on by will not let them determine what I do. But sometimes, it gets to you a bit. Anyway, first of all, my contribution this morning, Pastor Simon said something earlier, and I totally agree with it, is that all aid should go to NADMA. NADMA is a authority for now in case of disaster. Unlike in COVID, when the head of NADMA was not allowed to function, we should allow NADMA to be the coordinating agency. Let it be by the rule of law and order. And I agree with the last caller also. People in the rush to help might be doing more damage. So we need to at least have some discipline so that we don't create more problem than solution. And in this regard, I'm very, very appreciate, and I think the Grenada Today headline is that Deacon leads from the front. And there's no doubt about that. Regardless what our position was towards the current government and its leader, he have shown what a leader is. You're leading from the front and letting the agencies that are responsible take up the slack. I mean, the role that Cassia Johnson has played, is commendable. She's a young person. She's allowed to do what she's trained for. Unlike in the past when people were stifled, don't forget, and I must mention Paul Graham, who, when he tried to save Grenada from pests, was unceremoniously moved from the Ministry of Agriculture to where? Ministry of Health. Later, fortunately, he found himself in the University of Missouri, and now he's in Ghana. So we need to have law and order in this place. The agency that are by law requires to do the work, let them resource them and let them do the work. And we must commend people like Pastor Simon, who, whatever you think about him, have shown a sense of leadership in this case. So, and also calling people, and pointed out that we need to really let the agency play. Now, we need to ask some questions, and I'll end up here. We have to ask ourselves, some of the actions that we have done, both government and people, over the years, has it contributed to the intensity of the damage? I'm not saying that we could have prevented hurricane, but like in Ivan, a lot of the damage that was done because what we did, lack of planning, lack of proper building structure and whatever. the destruction of the mangroves in Carriacou, did that contribute enormous effect? And in St. Patrick's, I don't know, I have limited knowledge of what happened in St. Patrick, except that a lot of damage has been taken. In terms, I have a little better understanding of what happened in Carriacou. But the breakwater and the Liverpool area, is it some of the activity that we have allowed or contributed to help to contribute to the problem? We need to ask those questions. And many years ago, I said that some people should be charged for ecological damage, ecological crime in Grenada. I still believe some people should be held accountable. Chidi, I wouldn't upset you this morning. I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Also, have yourself a great day. What's left of it. Folks, we drew for a break. Let's take it. We will be right back with much more up to the point. That Open Line edition this morning. Stay with us.
Many of us take our health and well-being seriously. We exercise, we eat right, we try hard. Sometimes we give up. But we can't give up on the health of land and the seas that sustain us. We must reduce the amount of plastic weight we generate individually. A person can generate up to 70 times their weight in waste. That's over 10,000 pounds of plastic over a lifetime. Now multiply that by the country's population. Without reuse, repurposing, or recycling, each OACS island will generate more than 1 billion pounds of plastic waste over a lifetime. This can't be our legacy. Separate plastic waste for transport to a facility that reuses, repurposes, or recycles.
Recycle OECS. Green actions, blue oceans.
Coming up, African emancipation celebrations build towards the big day. Crop Over rolls towards its own colorful conclusion. One of this region's top banks continues to demonstrate the power to make a difference. Welcome to another award-winning Home Away from Home. Caribbean athletes ready for the world. Souvenirs stitched from scratch. It's all next on this station.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, once again to the point here on Classic Radio and GBN TV. We have an open line edition of To the Point this morning, which means you listeners and viewers, you have the option of calling, sharing your views, your concerns, your opinions. If you do have an issue or two that you would like to speak about, feel free to do so in today's edition. We go to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome and good morning. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning.
Yes, hello, sir. Morning.
Good morning to you.
I could understand a little bit of the apprehension that people has relative to sending things directly to their family or friends. And beside that lady now there, who spoke a while ago, I heard somebody last night, for the first time actually, discussing the issue. And it was another lady too. But I see it as a simple thing. If you tag your items, and for example, you put it in a barrel, similar to how you send things from America, England to here, I could understand it goes directly to your people. So NAGMA should have things in place for that quite naturally, and so I don't see why people should be so apprehensive about that. But the amount of time it would take it might be more of a concern. But I could tell you this, after witnessing yesterday for over 6 hours thereabout, that Grenadians have been pouring in things into NAGMA office right now. And I will have the opportunity to see more of it today because I'm in the area. Well, I expect going in a while in that same area. And people are very generous and things are working out. I heard Mr. Simon said this morning with Innocent that he was expecting more to come in from his end based on what they are doing. But maybe that much isn't coming as he expected because people are heading to NAGMA headquarters. And I could tell you they are pouring in. I'm not no NAGMA spokesman, but I've seen it myself. people are doing their best to help the people of Carriacou. And maybe at the same time, some of these things might go to the Northern Parish, which I was always a concern about. Because the fact that the I-pass on Carriacou, I expected St. Patrick's to be devastated. And so the news is showing nowadays because people who pass up there are talking about it. So we also have to be thinking about the people of St. Patrick's very much too. Take care, General.
All right. Thank you also. Thank you for your contribution this morning, caller. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line edition of To The Point here. Don't forget, coming up this weekend, of course, there's going to be that cleanup campaign. Hope you folks will volunteer your time. Those of you who may do it in the northern part of the island or go with the various teams that will be heading to the sister isle of Carriacou and Petit Martinique to participate in the cleanup. And certainly, I will encourage you to participate. 435-2041 open line edition. Don't forget, you also have the option of sending your message via the WhatsApp. Yes, or you can send them, of course, post a message via the comment section of the Facebook page. I will certainly be going to the page shortly. Haven't signed in as yet, but I will certainly get to the page shortly and be able to view and read some of the contributions that have been made here. We go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing pretty well, sir. And how are you doing this morning?
I'm pretty good. I have a suggestion. Okay, the people in Carriacou and PM, why don't the government go ahead and bring as much people as they could from Carriacou in Grenada? We could go ahead and help them more instead of we trying to bring a lot of food over there. I remember I live in Houston, and after Katrina, they evacuated the whole city of New Orleans and from Houston, and we were able to help the people from New Orleans, get back on the feet. I mean, there's nothing left in Carriacou. So why don't we just go ahead? It's only about 9,000 people in Carriacou. Bring as much as we could over here. We have all the schools and everything on vacation, all the empty houses Chinese built. Put them people in there, so at least, the people that want to go in Carriacou could at least get a chance to go ahead and clean up the place. Instead of we trying to go to Carriacou with one boat and the boat is overcrowded and it's just crazy. Bring most of the people that we could over here. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you also for your contribution. I personally have a different perception as relates to that. I may not encourage it. I think it's maybe safer that we, of course, folks with a leadership capability head to Carriacou and develop mobilize the people to help clean up over there themselves. Carrying them here, that's another situation. That's just my personal opinion. And I personally don't agree on it being done in that particular way. I understand how some folks feel about it, but I think it's better we take some folks with leadership capabilities from Grenada, go up and help in terms of managing the cleanup efforts up there. I think that may work out a whole lot better. 435-2041 open line edition of To The Point here on Classic Radio, GBN TV. Folks have the option of calling in, and certainly let's hear your views, your concern. Speak of the issues, but I respect everyone's opinion this morning. Let's take a peek at some of the contribution been made via the Facebook comment section this morning, and let's take a peek at some of the contribution if they weren't throwing up this morning. I'm looking. General conversation most folks are having, and certainly hope that I will agree that conversation of more or less general conversation this morning folks having. 435-2041. I'll be moving down to 28 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour. Don't forget we wrap the show up at 10 a.m. this morning, and you have the option of calling and share your views and concern, and let's hear from you. The lines are certainly open. And looking at some of the comments once again, someone is saying, some of the people do not want to leave their place. And of course, not only saying also, not only these people, let me see that, not only these people has to clean up and identify their place, but things are, what is wrong. The comments are jumping all around on me this morning, not being stable. And that was something from it. Not only the people, and also one is saying, still trying to grab, some of the contributions this morning. Someone is saying senior citizens and a pregnant woman will be relocated to Grenada, especially those in the homes. That's someone is saying that via WhatsApp. My apology via the Facebook page in terms of the people being relocated to here in Grenada. And also, let's take a peek at this contribution this morning. It's not just bringing them. Yes, school closed, but get there. Of course, we can't get Carriacou rebuilt in 2 months, and that's one of the thoughts I was having also. Schools are on vacation for just 2 months. Could we get all the folks here, get Carriacou cleaned up in 2 months? That may not be possible. Then we have to relocate them back to Carriacou again because school's going to have to be reopened here in Grenada. Think about all those issues coming into play there, and when the school is left in a dirty condition, money has to be spent to clean it up, and the money could go on towards rebuilding. So that's what someone is referencing there via the Facebook comment section. 435-2041, 435-2041. You have the option of calling in and sharing your views and concerns on the program this morning. It's to the point. 30 minutes after the hour, we drew for a second break this morning. Let's take it. And we come back, the lines will be open up once again to hear from you, listeners and viewers. We will be right back.
Courts.
This guy was driving way over the speed limit. Look at the damage. This guy was going a lot over the speed limit. Look at the damage. This guy was going a little over the speed limit. Look at the damage.
It's never too early to prepare for a hurricane, and we want to make sure our community is always ready. Take an active role. It only takes one hurricane to change your life and threaten our community. Hurricanes are one of nature's most powerful and destructive events. That's why a hurricane preparedness checklist is vital. You should have a family evacuation and communication plan. Everyone in your home should know what to do if severe weather strikes. Have a hand crank or battery-powered radio available to stay informed about weather updates. Flashlights and extra batteries are essential. Update your emergency supply kit. Include a sufficient supply of food and water. 1 gallon of water per person per day is the recommended amount. Have canned or boxed food available that won't spoil. At least a week's supply of medication is also suggested. Have special items set aside that you might need for infants or elderly residents in your home. Learn about your community's emergency plans, warning signals, and evacuation routes. Know where to find emergency shelters. Inform local authorities about anyone with special needs, such as the elderly or bedridden, or anyone with a disability. Don't wait until the hurricane is on its way. Do this now. If you're a pet owner, have food and extra water set aside for your pets. Make plans to ensure your pet's safety. Most emergency shelters cannot accept pets due to safety and sanitation requirements. Locate and secure your important papers, such as insurance policies, wills, licenses, and stocks. Hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. Do your part to protect your family and your property. Be smart, be safe, and be prepared.
Once again, good morning and welcome back. It's To The Point here, Classic Radio. It's Friday, the 5th day of July, 2024. And it's To The Point here on Classic Radio and GBN TV. It's an open line this morning. Listeners, viewers, your option of calling in. You have double the options of calling in this morning via the Facebook. And my apology, did I say Facebook? It was via the WhatsApp. And also, you could call me directly. Both, of course, options of calling carry the same number. That's 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's hear from you this morning in terms of your views, your concerns, your opinions. You have the option of sharing that also. And there's an issue you'd like to speak of. Feel free to do so via the open line edition this morning, 435-2041. And let's hear from you. Let's take a peek at some of the Of course, somebody posting via the Facebook this morning, and we have someone that's saying, take the money that is put aside for Carnival and help the people to rebuild and postpone Carnival. That's a bit of a touchy conversation there. There's some folks who may not want to not have that option of not having Carnival 2024. All right. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm seeing a lot of mangoes spoiling all over the place. As long as the mango is full, I think we should gather those mangoes, make red mango, curry mango, whatever mango, rather than it staying on the ground and rotting. That's my contribution this morning. Thank you.
You have a good one, sir. Certainly hope folks will take up on that initiative that you mentioned. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, GT. Good morning to Grenada. And, Grenada is a really blessed place, and I'm happy to be a Grenadian. What I would like to say, I've been looking at the trend, like how this hurricane passed, and I realized it did a lot of damages in some of the ditches, like drains and rivers. If you follow it properly, you'd realize that a lot of the rivers, a lot of trees are in them presently. So I'm encouraging, making that recommendation to the Ministry of Agriculture. We already in problem, a lot of farmers would have lost a lot of stuff. But in case we do get a heavy rainfall now, what it means, because the rivers are clogged up right now, we would have a break of the bank, and that could create more problems for us in terms of agricultural production. So, I know it's kind of difficult. We have to face, focus more on lives and Carriacou and so on right now. But I'm telling you, we could create a big disaster if a tropical wave come now, it's going to create more problem if the river has to the bank, it has to rise over its bank. So let us try to clean out all these, the gangs that normally walk on the road, if we could get them to go into the river and start cutting up these stuff just to clear the river trail.
All right, not allowing it to fester even more than it already is. I understand you so much.
Yeah, because we in problem already with agriculture right now. A lot of farmers are balling. I took a drive out yesterday and I met a farmer in Pearls, and he has so much corn. So anybody who wants corn, maybe you want to roast corn for the time being, this man has a field. Everything is just blown down and they are mature. So a lot of farmers, melons, a lot of losses. But we don't want that overflow of the bank. So please,
great contribution, caller.
Thank you. Listening.
Thank you so much for your contribution, and I certainly hope someone in authority may have been listening and will certainly look into that a whole lot. Thank you once again. Caller, good morning. Good morning to you, caller.
Yes, good morning. In listening to all of the callers and concerns, there seems to be a general theme of distrust, suspicion, and people not knowing what will happen if they send goods and helps to their family. Will it be stolen? Will it be distributed fairly? If they send aid, who will be at the distribution centers to make sure that everybody gets a fair distribution of goods and aid? And so to me, that is very sad. It shows this inherent dishonesty that is imbued in a culture, and even in a catastrophic instance like this is a theme that is coming through phone calls after phone calls from last night, from program to program. People are concerned. Will we get it? Will it get there? Once it gets there, will the people in the distribution center give it out fairly? Will they say don't give it to the people in the blue house, they have too much? Will they take all for their families? So this is very sad. Carriacou kayaks have always boasted that they have no crime and they are different from Grenada, but it seems as though we still have the same theme going through. Whether it's Carriacou, whether it's Petit Martinique, whether it's Grenada, now it's them, and we are still focusing on all the same things that we focus on in Grenada: truth, honesty, integrity. And we hope that in all of this, that help and aid is distributed and given fairly. The people who are distributing, the people who are sending, the people who are getting. Let it not be a time for extortion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Let's go to the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hi, morning. How
Good
are
morning to you. I'm doing pretty well. What about you this morning?
Yes.
All right, let's hear your contribution.
This morning has to do with the Ministry of, I'm not sure if it's Ministry of Works, but from looking at the destruction and so, I am considering having a Ministry of Works whereby we can have these Grenada equipment so that in times like this.
Caller, I'm not sure, but the quality of your call seems to be very poor. If I could describe it in that particular way, I'm not sure why, but continue. Let's see. Let's see. Okay.
Better now.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead, please.
Okay, so I was saying that looking at the destruction that we've had and sustained, I'm wondering.
All right, caller, we seem to may have lost you there for a wee bit. I'm not sure why, but it could be, of course, your location or the quality of your connection. Our apology for that, folks. 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing pretty well. What about you?
Great. I'm fine. I just want to say that a number of persons have been calling, and rumors so easy to get around than the truth. I think NAGMA and the other teams sending stuff to Carriacou, they're much organized. Yes, people might be complaining they're not getting anything because the distribution process, as the Prime Minister said, will take a little while because of the road condition and things like that. You have to be clearing and things. I myself went to Carriacou. And to be truthful, there is a lot of stuff in Carriacou in NAGMA that is up there to be distributed. We just need to have a little patience. Remember, Grenada and Carriacou is two different places altogether. And to be saying that, people not getting things and things like that. I went to shelter and people getting food. Firsthand I went. You understand? So sometimes we just need to be stop spreading rumors, and people outside, they're hearing these things, they have to send things for the family, they're not getting it. And the whole story, when Ivan came, it was a different story altogether. We were not prepared, NAGMA had issues and things like that. Now NAGMA is properly organized. People who funding and sending stuff to Grenada, it is going through NAGMA. It is organized. So we have something different facing us now, and let us just have a little patience and understand that we will get through this. At the end of the day, we will rise, and we will rise higher, and we will go up, and we will go up higher. So let us all work together. This is a teamwork. It's not a group work. It's a teamwork. Let us work together and get this done. We can do it, and we will do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you also, caller. Thank you so much. And that's definitely a great contribution there because, the caller is right. The negative conversation will always spread fast, very, very fast, negative conversation, and they seem to be absorbed faster than a positive conversation sometimes. So when folks are going around and making these negative statements, there are folks who just like to brew those kind of conversation. It gives them that speed, as I would like to say sometimes. And they spread it and it makes them feel good that they're able to make a contribution of that nature, what is negative, and it goes around really fast. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hello, good morning. I was listening to the program for a while, and I find that some of the people who are speaking, they're speaking like if they don't have sense. And I would like to let them know, if they feel that the people are waiting certain thing for them and they wouldn't get it out, they wouldn't get it from that, but I would ask them to ask the people to bring it for them. That is what I would like to do. Over.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041. 435. Let's take a contribution from someone via the WhatsApp once again. We had this caller before. Hope you have a better connection this time. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Morning, GT. How are you?
I'm good. Let's see if we can hear a little better from you in terms of your contribution. Let's see. Go right ahead. It seemed to me I've lost you once again. Caller, I would want to believe your connection is a bit poor wherever you're located. You may have to try a different location and get a better connection in order to continue. 435-2041, 435. We have 15 minutes left on today's program. I was going to read a contribution from someone via the WhatsApp this morning, and they say, good morning from Toronto. It seems I have seen a drive-through on Carriacou. Pretty good job was done clearing the road, but there are some areas that still needs clearing. As for the rest of the cleanup, I think it's okay if the mainland residents are willing to go help by the main participants, but the main participants have to be Carriacou residents. Thank you so much there for that individual for that posting. Let's get another contribution via the WhatsApp once again. Good morning, GT. I'd like to give kudos to the administration for leading from the front, especially the press secretary who's been on the ball in all the briefings on the hurricane. The folks from Nagma and Nawasa, they've been doing a great job, especially our beloved Prime Minister. Also, I want to urge people on the mainland who have families and friends on the sister islands, if they can host some of them for now until they will be able to build back, especially families with children. I heard of countries who are willing to take people from Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Also remember, we are our neighbors' keepers, and the table could always turn. We never know. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yes, good morning, GT. I have been observing, I've been observing the callers and so, and I believe that there is a great measure of anxiety which we need to pay attention to. We, meaning not you on the radio, everybody. You know, this thing passed, and some of us are still in shock, and we are reacting in strange ways. You would hear people losing their respect publicly on calling program, people, biting up each other on calling program. Maybe it's their way of dealing with the stress. Yes, I kind of remember people acting like that after Maurice Bishop and so were killed, and I remember talking about people do need psychological counseling at times when things like that happen, but how can you reach everybody? So I called because I'm going to ask you now, I'm going to make a request that you pay attention to your playlist, the kind of music that you play, not religious music, but I'm saying music, that could calm people. Yes? Because this kind of biting up I'm hearing on the radio, no, I said that's not my Grenadian people who are so respectable and nice, So I just thought I would call and ask you if you can put on some really nice, you see, like late in the evening after the hurricane, we had a real nice playlist. We enjoyed that playlist. All right, thank you.
Thank you also. Have a great morning yourself and what's left of the rest of the day. 435-2041. Folks, we drew for a break, our final break in the program segment this morning. Let's take it. When we come back, we get into our final segment of the program. Stay with us. We will be right back.
It's the...
Mark your calendars for a day of non-stop fun and laughter. The St. George's Lions Club, Spice Mass, and Glen present All Mass 2024. It's all happening at the Grenada Youth Center on Sunday, July 21st, starting at 3 p.m. Tickets are just $35 for adults and $15 for children 12 and under. Grab yours from any Lions and Leo members, Grenadian Optical, and Clear Vision. All Mass promises humorous antics and infectious laughter for the whole family. Be there. This advertisement sponsored by Demerara Mutual Life. I'm with them.
Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department or participating outlets for a chance to win free fuel, free drinks, free prizes, free property and vehicle insurance, free Hub TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free Dutch Lady milk, free passes to Sunshine promotion events for 2024, free groceries, all for one whole year, and every winner receives a free lunch package. But that's not all. Drive away in style in a brand new Isuzu D-Max. It sips, it doesn't guzzle. So fill out your entries and place them into the marked entry boxes. This promotion is brought to you in part by Dutch Lady, Danny, Promo, Supreme Bleach, Creative Chef, Glen, Floor, Salt Petroleum, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Sunshine Promotion, Caribberies, Coop Bank, Sesame Spain, and Food Fear. Promotion runs from April 2nd to December 24. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. We started the final segment, just approximately 10 minutes left before we wrap today's program. Let's take a caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Thank God for small mercies. Thank God for sparing our profitable life. My dear brother I don't know if I missed that part, but we're looking for, stuff, things for Carriacou and Petit Martinique, but I don't know if anything said about St. Patrick, because I understand St. Patrick gets some lick up too. So, I don't know if they could try to see what they could for St. Patrick also. And in doing this, I would like everybody to get a fair deal. Fair something and have people, responsible people to deal with the situation. Because my brother, I remember during Ivan time, a lot of nonsense went on, and at the end of the day, the government always getting the blame for that, where they have people on the ground to do certain things that didn't matter. And trucks been passing in different communities. And I only say it because I know, and there is certain people that standing up in Crash Road waiting for the trucks. And they're telling them, don't go in that blue house day. They have enough things. And when you do find out, then people will get a bottle of water. So we let them to get serious people and people that have, understanding to know to go from house to house. Because when you give certain people the thing to give out, they will choose the family members only, and other people that living from that family don't get a sweetie. So I like them to do it in a good way, in a nice way, with due respect. And don't forget, let us remember the people of St. Patrick also, Carriacou and Petit Martin. Have a good day, my dear brother.
Thank you a whole lot. Thank you for your contribution this morning, and I certainly hope the folks in authority are hearing some of the contribution that have been thrown up this morning, and they will, of course, make the necessary adjustments. 435-2041, 435-2041. We have a few more minutes left on today's program. We still can accommodate some more calls. Whether your contribution you want to make is via a WhatsApp message, feel free to do so. I will certainly read it out. Let me take this contribution via WhatsApp, and someone is saying, morning GT, I wish to suggest that the government have the ministry that supports heavy machinery such as chainsaws, commercial standard generators, trucks and tractors. These can be used in the immediate aftermath of the hurricane. Also, NAGMA can make it mandatory to do shelter checks at the beginning of the season. Checks like structural safety, the availability of airbeds, cots, and ensure that the lights in all of the centers. And of course, thank you the individuals who is making that contribution this morning. I certainly do appreciate it. And there's always room for improvement in everything that happens. And sometimes you prepare, but sometimes there are things that happen that will happen unexpected, and you will have to make necessary adjustments. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Just in defense of NADMA, based on the thing we did, and also to say something that Pastor Simon said the other day. NADMA do those things, whether it's done properly or so, they do those things, they check the centers. I personally am much confident in the centers because not because it's a school. So we have to ensure that these things are strong, but they do that thing. And Pastor Simon did say that there are gaps in which not unable to deal with those things. So that's where I want to, again, continue to say we need a community development approach to how we do life in Grenada, a cooperative approach, not this individualist, capitalist, selfish, me, my family, and myself alone approach. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you once again. Have yourself a great day. And another contribution here via WhatsApp. Someone is saying, good morning. I want to give the government a thumbs up for the good job they're doing. Let's take a contribution from the Facebook comment section this morning. And this individual is saying, the government has to take a fresh look at how they construct the drainage along the roads in Grenada. Number one, they are too deep. They should be beveled drains, just as to tipper beneath the road, and that would avoid people from driving into them. That is something. Let me get the rest. The foreigners are complaining about. Drains are too deep in Grenada. Anyway, let's take another contribution this morning. It is only simple to let coordinators go from house to house and shelters. It is it's so that simply nobody shouldn't have yelled anybody sharing relief to don't go there. That is nonsense for the high school. Let's forgo that comment there. Anyway, 435-2041. We have approximately 5 minutes left on today's program. Feel free to give me that call, 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's hear from you in the next couple of minutes. We can accommodate a couple more calls if they come really quickly, or you can send a message via the WhatsApp, or you can go ahead and contribute via the Facebook comment section. Let me just take a peek while we await another call to come through. If we could. All right, and someone is saying here, my thoughts are if they are sending barrels for your family, then do that. You don't have to go through NAGMA, but if you are sending for the relief, then it goes through NAGMA. That's the way someone is foreseeing that. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hey, morning, GT. I remember June Ivan time, a boat came from Trinidad with 170 generators to spread out for the people, and they all went to Happy Hill.
That's it, caller. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number to be part of the program this morning. If you do have a contribution to make this morning, you have an issue that you would like to speak of, well, not much time left, but we still can accommodate your calls. Still going through the comments via the Facebook page this morning, and let's take a peek at what else has been thrown out there this morning that we can throw out to you. There's any one of the comments as of a nature that needs to be thrown out. And this individual said the community needs to get together and get that done. I guess in terms of the community cleanups and so forth, folks in the community getting those volunteering their time and in the community, and get those communities that have been affected some way or the other have those cleanup doing. I guess that's where the caller is speaking from, also in terms of cleaning the rivers and so forth. That individual is speaking from that point of view. 435-2041, 435-2041. 3.5 minutes before we take a wrap for today's program. I'm seeing a new message coming, and take a peek at that. Those of you who are, of course, plan on being part of the going up to Carriacou this weekend to be part of the cleanup campaign up there this weekend and volunteering your time to go out, I will encourage you to be part of it. Those of you who are not thinking about doing it, but I will encourage you to head on up and offer your assistance some way or other, and let's get Carriacou cleaned up. And pretty soon we get back to a level of normalcy in the Sister Isles. Hey folks, it's moving up just around 30 seconds or so before 10 o'clock this morning. I want to take the time out to thank all who contributed towards today's program. Just 30 seconds, but I see another caller is coming in. There's probably something positive they want to contribute. Caller, good morning. You just have a few seconds to say what you got to say. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, GD. Well, just check on them people, and them Grenada people is mad people. Because the thing going on is nice, and leave it so.
Okay, caller. Thank you. Anyway, folks, there's always never a dull moment. Anyway, folks, that's what we take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. I want to thank all who contributed towards today's program. Thank you so much. Of course, it's been a particular week here in the of course, between Grenada and our sister isle of Carriacou. On Monday, we know what happened, and those of you who are of course alive today, and you may have had the experience of Beryl, so you know we're still in the, of course, in the peak of the season still. You know, of course, it's not peaked out entirely, but we're still within the season. So this is just the first one we have experienced. There may be much more. So let's get things done in a particular way. Thanks once again for being part of the program, folks. That's why I say goodbye for this edition of To The Point. Goodbye, folks.